Anna Bardell.
Very much, Mr Speaker. Local journalism and local journalists are absolutely the lifeblood of our media, and I welcome much of what the Secretary of State has said, although we have not heard enough, I don't believe, about the guarantee of pensions, of workers' rights and of their jobs. And I have spoken to a number of journalists who are deeply concerned. He will know that the National Union of Journalists have voiced significant concerns about the long-term intentions of the newspaper's new owners, amid fears that it has been purchased with a view to asset stripping. So does the Minister believe it would be prudent for the new owners to make a commitment to staff regarding their motivations for taking over and offering assurances about their plans for long-term plans for Johnston Press? And there's been much said about what can be done, and the demise of Johnston Press has largely been put down to the rise of digital media. So he will find it more than passing strange, I'm sure, that the previous Chief Executive is going to continue to be the new Chief Executive in that new company, because a company has failed. And I think we all find it very strange that it has shut down, it has moved on some of its debts, some of its pension liabilities, and popped up with a shiny new name. So we must be sure that those workers' rights are absolutely protected, as are their pensions. Hear, hear. And he may know that Norway has the strongest penetration of digital news subscriptions of any country. Almost 2/3 of Norwegians mostly find news by going directly to traditional news providers. So he may also find it strange that one of the major shareholders who's here today in Parliament, Christian Ager Hansen, the Norwegian investor, has been shut out and his shares are now valueless. Will he meet with me, with my honourable friend for West Bromwich East and Mr Ager Hansen, to discuss the issues? And I would commend to him Leslie Riddick's film Nation, which looks at the model that Norway uses of funding the second newspaper in every region in Norway. And will he look at that model? Will he compel Francis Cairncross to include that, to look at what options are available for workers, because we think of them today and we think of their jobs and their roles.
Well, I'm grateful to the Honourable Lady. Let me pick up three things that she mentioned. First of all, in relation to pensions, as I've said, the Pensions Protection Fund is now engaged with this. It is, as she knows, a matter for them what action they now take, and it's important that they, and indeed the regulator, have the chance to consider this matter properly. That's what they are now doing. On jobs, she asked about the long-term commitment of the new owners. That, again, is a matter for them, of course. What I should have said is that, as she will appreciate, the headquarters of Johnston Press are in Edinburgh, so it is of course necessary for us to work with the Scottish Government to ensure that if further actions are necessary, we take them in conjunction with the Scottish Government. And finally, she invites me to meet with her and with the Honourable Gentleman, and indeed with a shareholder. I mentioned earlier on the risk that there is a quasi-judicial role for me to complete in this process. We do not yet know whether I will need to do so, but I think it best at this stage that I am prudent about that, so if she will forgive me, I will not accept her kind invitation at this stage.